On a day where the president of Ukraine is trying to barter with President Trump to get Tomahawk missiles to fight Russia after Putin told Trump not to give them to him. Of course, a day where the government is still shut down, but they are prepping for the No Kings rallies tomorrow. And on a day where we're going to find out more about how AI will get more erotica. That's going to be creepy. We get this other news to throw everything into a tailspin for the day. Donald Trump has now commuted the sentence of George Santos, so he gets out of early. Really early. President Trump announced today that he has commuted the prison sentence of former U.S. Representative George Santos, ordering his immediate release. Santos has been serving more than 7 years, or would have been serving more than 7 years, so far only a couple months, after pleading guilty to fraud and identity theft. Trump called Santos somewhat of a rogue, but agreed that many others commit similar acts without such harsh punishment, so he should be let off, at least in this case. Santos was convicted in April of this past year after admitting to deceiving donors and using the identities of at least 11 people, including some relatives, to pad his campaign. The judge and prosecutors had pushed for a sentence beyond the guidelines, citing the aggregated deception that was a part of this. He began serving a sentence at a minimum security prison in New Jersey back in July. Now, Trump's justification is fairly simple. He acknowledged that Santos' misdeeds did happen. He did some bad things, but said he's been mistreated in prison. I just signed a commutation releasing George Santos immediately. It was posted on George Santos on Truth Social, but it was probably part of a long, rapid batch of things that was actually a attack at Blumenthal for some reason, but ended up with letting George Santos out of jail. He drew a contrast between Santos' punishment and what he viewed as leniency towards others committing similar crimes. This decision fits a broader pattern of clemency for political associates under his second term. We'll get back to that in a bit, so hold a pin to that one because we talk about how we complain about the other guy pardoning other people. This guy's letting people off left and right. Now, critics are blasting this move as politicized and damaging to the rule of law norms. Some legal observers question whether commuting a sentence midterm undermines the judicial independence. Essentially, the judge says he did something bad, so let him suffer for it. And Trump's like, nope. Supporters, though there are fewer of those than critics, see it as correcting a sentence that they view as excessive. The commutation triggers debates over executive clemency limits and accountability. Let's go back to Joe Biden, if you will, who, of course, promised not to pardon his son and then on the way out the door pardon his son. Presidents do this all the time. People in power do this all the time, and they do it because they can. It's a power that, you get that rank, why not use it? And so here's a case where Donald Trump, who is pardoning all sorts of people, and this time not a pardon, but a clemency, no pardon quite yet, will let him out of prison basically for the time served, a couple of months instead of the 7 years or so we had to supposedly serve going forward. Is it a bad thing? Well, in cases where people are unfairly treated and unfairly convicted, and we have time and time going out, it's not a bad thing. Is this a bad thing? Yes. Yes, it's a bad thing. It's a terrible thing. It's an awful thing. It's a horrible thing, but it's a thing that we have to live with. What do you think? Are you a critic who thinks this is something that is a bad thing, or you're a supporter, one of the few, the very few, the very, very few who see that George Santos has suffered more than enough and needs to be let go because all that fabulous can't be withheld in a prison cell in Jersey, no less. Let's not call this a slow news day, but this is one that popped out of nowhere. If this was on your bingo card for tonight, then you deserve to win that jackpot. Comment away.